Hello, my friends, and welcome back to my channel, Coffee Tea Paper. My name's Louise, and if you're new here, welcome. Or if you're an old viewer, not an old viewer, a regular viewer, that sounds better. Welcome back. I was going to do a little bit of a vlog this week, but it's actually school holidays here. The school holidays run off Easter, and I've just been too busy enjoying myself with the kids, but also packing up the kitchen, getting ready for the big day, the demolition day, and we finally have some beautiful autumn weather starting to creep into the days. So it hasn't been getting to 30, which has been wonderful, and it's actually been dropping under 20 degrees at night. So that's just been so lovely. So I've actually been outside getting a bit of work done, and I just haven't really done any vlog type stuff that would be really that very interesting. So we'll just stick to our calm journal prompts. I was even a bit late posting my page for last week. I just got a bit distracted. If you're following along, you can see my page as well as other people's pages on Instagram, and just have a look at the hashtag CTP 2024 Calm Journal prompts. And of course, you don't have to do them in any particular order. I'm just working through this box and doing it in the order that the box throws up, essentially. But if you want to pick and choose and don't do 1 week, do a different week, do week 3 in week 14, totally up to you. They're just meant to be prompts, and that's it. Last week we had this one. Never assume that loud is strong and quiet is weak. One of my lovely viewers said it reminded her of the quote from Shakespeare, which is the one, although she may be small, she is fierce. I thought, yes, that's that. They're both kind of in that same area, aren't they? Of small or quiet or unassuming can be mistaken for weak or not relevant or not having anything of interest to say. And of course, that is so very, very not true. Sometimes the squeaky wheel does get the results, but I think there's a time and a place, and we try and use our judgment about when it's best to be that squeaky wheel and when it's best to be quiet and listen and learn. So anyway, that's that from last week. I did a little bit of a backwards topsy-turvy one last week where I decided that I really just wanted to do an autumn spread. It didn't really matter what the card was, that I was doing an autumn spread. So I haven't done that this week. We'll have a look at the card, and then I'll have a look at what I have in my stash, and we'll do it the normal way this week. So let's say goodbye to this one. Yeah, no attribution on this card, so we'll see if we get an attributed quote this week, or if it's another more, what would you call it, like urban urban lore, I don't know. Yes, okay, let's have a look. Oh, that's funny, the color scheme's quite similar, isn't it, with the yellow and the blue. Okay, let's see. Oh, and nobody in particular this isn't attributed to. You are exactly where you need to be. and there's sort of these painterly marks on the card, and this yellow circle, yellowy orangey. Right, this looks very summery to me. This kind of reminds me of summer waves and the summer sun. And of course, that's not where my headspace wants to be at all. I've had more than enough of summer, even though I spent an extra 6 weeks in winter. I am a cold weather person. You are exactly where you need to be. Okay, so what's that kind of saying? I guess it's saying take satisfaction with where you are, what you have, who you are, what age you are, rather, I guess, than always wishing that you were somewhere else or doing something else or a different type of person. Maybe it's about looking around and seeing that how you can make a difference to your life and perhaps the people around you as well. You are exactly where you need to be. So trusting the process, trusting fate, trusting the universe, trusting your own decision making as well. It's a good one. Okay, I'm always a bit skeptical coming into these because I never quite know. Because we've had some that have been quite good, that are really, really good, really interesting quotes by interesting people, and then we've had others which have been a bit, you know, not that exciting. So let's just get our page up. I'll put the, what's that called? Page board. Can't remember. Pencil board. That's it. What is it? Week 16. Week 16. Now, I was keen to try out one of my new supplies. I saw Satu over on her YouTube channel quite a few weeks ago now doing some stenciling, and I've never done, well, I've made my own stencil to do a bit of a recreation of some Banksy artwork. That's a whole other video. If you're interested in that, you can go and check it out. But I haven't done sort of stenciling as a stencil background or anything like that. And so I was doing a little bit of browsing, as you do in the evening with a glass of wine. And I found these stencils. You can probably guess where I got them from. They weren't very expensive, and there was a whole bunch of them. Some of the designs are not really that exciting for me. Others I think have lots of potential. So I think we'll definitely use maybe a couple of these. Apart from that, I know these are opposites on the colour wheel, you know, sort of the warm and the cool, but I'm not feeling overly inspired by these colours, though I do like this one in the middle, this kind of mustardy yellowy orange. Okay, I'm just going to go and have a bit of a rummage and we'll get back and do our page. So if you want to pause the video here and go and get some supplies, we can do a bit of a journaling together, which is always fun. Though don't forget to turn the video back on when you come back with your supplies. One of my lovely viewers said she got so enthused about doing her page. She was going to do a journal with me, and she forgot to turn the video back on. But that's okay too. Anyway, I'm just going to gather some things up and we'll get into it. I decided I really want to use a person because often these quotes refer to you or yourself or a person, and I think that's kind of nice to represent that on the page. I've had this person cut out that I rescued from an envelope from a Queeler magazine that my son used to have a subscription to when he was a bit younger. He since has moved on to Mark Rober Crunch Labs Builder Box instead. But I thought this was kind of nice because she's walking along, it's raining, she's got a book in her hand, she's got such a relaxed look on her face, her eyes are closed. She looks very, very content that even though maybe she's in some inclement weather, that maybe she knows that that is where she needs to be. I then, of course, really wanted to use some stencils. So I thought it might be nice if we do a bit of a brick wall, because the brick wall isn't exactly, you know, exciting, is it? If you can look like that, peaceful and at peace, and satisfied with where you are, maybe the brick wall is a really good background for that. And then this one I thought we could do the rain. So I've got a couple of different ink pads here to try, to do the stenciling with. And then I wondered, I've got this paper which is kind of interesting. I thought, could we maybe tear off a couple of bits to kind of overlap this urban brick wall rain that, you know, almost like the silver lining of the cloud, the where being happy with where you're meant to be means that you can find beauty in even perhaps the places that aren't so beautiful at times. Anyway, I'm jumping ahead of myself. So let's just start with the stenciling because I haven't really done that before. I don't know how that's going to go. I might need to move around or not. I don't know. I'm a stencil novice. So let's just see how this goes and we'll progress from there. I've got these little Dorbury things that just Velcro on. I just assume you kind of dab and rub. I don't know. I don't really know. Dab and rub, dab and rub. Oh, and this is tea dye. Oh, I think that looks good. And then I thought we could use this for rain. This stamping ink is better than this one, but for this kind of technique, but I don't know, we'll see. I'll have to clean that off too. Well, I think the colours are certainly tying in. So I want to do a bit of tearing. think it's quite fun to try and copy the font a bit, just because it adds a bit of variation to your journal pages. Don't you love this little hedgehog here? So cute. Yeah, I feel like I want to add a few more things, but I'm not quite sure what. One thing I'm thinking is about putting some small flower stamps over here. Yeah, let's do that. Okie dokie, my friends, I think we're going to finish up there. I've just added in a little bit of washi tape in the same mustard colour as the card and her raincoat, and some washi dots in this sort of same colour as her hair and the book, and just popped in a couple of butterflies just to provide the garden of flowers. What am I trying to say? Like, with her world, with being where she needs to be, that even though she's in the rain with a brick wall, that it still feels like the right place or a nice place, uh, because it's the right place. Anyway, thank you so much for being here, for journaling with me, for listening to my rambling, or maybe you've muted me. That's perfectly all right as well. If you're joining in, don't forget to post your page on Instagram, or you can email it to me as well if you're not on Instagram, coffeeteapaper@bigpond.com, because it's nice. I like being able to showcase some of everyone's pages here on YouTube as well. So if you aren't on Instagram, that you can see some of what other people have been making in response to the prompts, is what I'm trying to say. See, all right, the hashtag on Instagram is CTP 2024 Calm Journal Prompts. Have a glorious week. Hopefully, if where you are, you're coming into spring, the spring weather is as divine as the autumn weather that we're getting here. Yes, revel in it, is what I say. And I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.